Zachary, this is the Board Warner Trophy given to the winner of the Indy 500. It's 5 feet tall. And I think I read that it weighs like 110 pounds. Well, in 5 minutes, Zachary, I take the Kiss the Bricks tour. We're going to ride around the speedway, do a complete lap, and look at some cool areas. But this car won the 2011 Indy 500, driven by Dan Weldon. Pretty cool looking thing. Might even go faster than the minivan, not sure.
Do anything until they said, oh my gosh, you're driving that thing on those tires? And then I thought, well, I guess I better get that fixed. But you are actually, this is the oldest racing facility in the world. Not just the United, think how old some of our civilizations are. Well, this is the oldest car racing track in the world. And the reason why that is because Indiana was the budding car industry back in the early 1900s. This track is the inspiration of 4 men all involved in the early automobile industry. And the only reason it moved to Detroit was because Detroit had a way to transport the finished cars all over the U.S. They used the waterways.
And that's what you see here to your right. We'll see more of that road course when we get around to turn 4 and also in turn 1. The other thing I'm going to throw in briefly, when we get to turn 4, if you'll look off to the infield portion behind the tower suites, you'll see a lot of trucks and vans. And that's, we have the battle of the brickyards going on, which we will end up with over 200 to 300 quarter midget race cars.
And gentlemen, start your engines.
There's the command. Mary Holland and the engine. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 500 in the locally constructed Marmon Wasp. The day was a huge success, and the greatest spectacle in racing was born. At the urging of 3-time Indy 500 winner Wilbur Shaw, Terre Haute businessman Tony Hallman saved the track from demolition in 1945, purchasing it for $750,000. The facility is still privately owned and operated by the Hallman George family. Here we are on the front straight. The first thing you might have noticed is the canyon effect created by the grandstands on both sides of the track. They may be empty now, but on race day for the 500, every one of these seats will be occupied. There is no sight quite like it in all of sports. You will notice a wall separating the racing portion of the front straight from pit lane. The original version of this was installed in 1957, and it may have been the first of its kind anywhere in the world. This innovation allowed an area for cars to slow while being separated from the high-speed action on track. During the early days of the 500, pit stops would last several minutes, often with a relief driver temporarily taking over for the exhausted original. Today, IndyCar crews can change a full set of tires and fuel up a car in less than 10 seconds. Coming into view on the left is Victory Podium. The unique design of this structure is a combination of the trophies of the Indianapolis 500 and Brickyard 400. Both can frequently be seen on display within the museum. The tall building adjacent to Victory Podium is the Pagoda. The current structure opened in 2000 and is the location for timing and scoring, master control, media broadcasts, and private suites. It is the equivalent in height to a 13-story building and offers a...
Hey Zachary, just hanging out. right in the middle of the track at the Indy 500. Pretty cool. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Look at that. They call that the pagoda, the building, big building there. At the Brickyard, and there's the start finish line behind me. Wish you were here. All right, this is start finish line, the bricks. Here's me kissing the bricks. Here we go. That tastes terrible. I should have just kissed the bricks, not licked the bricks. That was a mistake. All right, if you see the 3, the 2, and the 1, that's 300 yards, 200 yards, 100 yards to the turn. The cars cover that distance in 9/10 of a second, and they'll do the whole lap, 2.5 miles, in 38 seconds. That's moving, man. Kind of cool.
To enhance fan experience. The garages located directly off pit lane were constructed in 2000 for Formula One and are now used by NASCAR.
Another fun fact about the trophy, it's silver and worth an estimated $4 million. Right there. Hey Zachary, this is your father at turn 2 of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Look around, and here's the cars, and they're speeding past. Now, there's no race today, but I think I'm about to leave. This is a really cool place. I think it'd be a lot of fun to come to a race here. I'd love to come to an Indy 500, and maybe we'll do that one day. Not today. Not in turn 2. Turn 2 is quiet. Very quiet. About 5 miles from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is what you see behind me, which is the long time home of our 23rd president, Benjamin Harrison, who served he was president from 1881 to 1889, preceded as president by Grover Cleveland, and the next president actually after him, who would have thunk it, is also Grover Cleveland. He had 2 terms, but they were non-consecutive. So here's the house. Maybe I can go take a look at it. It's kind of interesting.